Our focus is saving sea turtles.
Where are you from?
I'm from down under, Australia, the Gold Coast.
And what brought you to Okinawa?
Okinawa, I was on the mainland for 10 years. Osaka, Gunma, Tokyo. I got asked to join the team for opening the Kafu resort in Onna village. And that's what brought me to Okinawa 15 years ago.
What did you do in mainland Japan?
Mainland Japan, mainly in entrepreneurial kind of stuff. Did a lot of restaurant management, restaurant consulting. Worked in a ski resort in Gunma, where I was for customer service. But I also went to Kindai, Kinki University, for 4 years in Osaka as well.
For entrepreneurial.
No, it's just a business. What do you call it? Business course, business degree. Chōkei gakubu, so commerce and international business.
You had a business background.
Kind of, I think that's just the way my mind works. I'm always thinking about, how to make positive effects on whether it be the people I'm working for or for my family. And right now it's environmentally based, yeah.
What do you do for a living now?
Right now, I still have some hotel resort tourism consulting business going on, but my main focus is managing this non-profit organization.
So what's your NPO about?
So our focus is saving sea turtles. We have a non-profit organization called Churamura, which is Sea Turtle Conservation Rangers. But we are part of a bigger team called the Okinawa Coastal Protection Alliance, which has over 50 members, all committed to conserving the coastal environment.
So what's your mission for the NPO?
Our mission concerning sea turtles, they're critically endangered animals, right? They're all on the red list of the United Nations. And so, within 50 years, there's a chance they will go extinct. And so once we learnt that, when we started Churamura about 5 years ago, we realized that we have to do something because sea turtles are not very well represented here in Okinawa. There's still a lot of killing of sea turtles, intentionally or accidentally by bycatch, the fishing industry, etc. The loss of their nesting habitats, mainly the beaches, due to coastal development. The tourism industry is so big and powerful here that the local governments want to sell these beautiful beaches to the hotels. And once they build a hotel and ride their jet skis around, the sea turtles lose their place to lay their eggs, right? And this is one of the major factors in exacerbating their extinction or endangered status. And so trying to educate not just the village or the government people who make these decisions, but also the community, especially the kids, because they're the next generation who are going to become the leaders and policy makers around Okinawa. There's all this trash in the ocean that we have to pick up, is one of our missions. But on a grander scale, protecting the coastal environment in general, not just for turtles, but all marine life. Cleaning out the fishing nets that are washing up over the reefs and destroying all the corals. Killing all the birds, and sometimes we get whales that wash up on our beaches, right, because they get tangled in the nets or swallowed too much trash. It's basically raising awareness so that the next generation has a beautiful Okinawa, Churaumi, Churashima to enjoy. This is an ongoing effort because we see, coming from Australia, obviously we have a beautiful country, and everyone is very respectful of the nature. People's awareness of environmental issues is very high. That's why we have trash cans all over the place. And the council and the government are very proactive in enforcing a lot of these environmental protection laws. Whereas Japan and Okinawa in general, they're not so aware of the issues and how vulnerable the ocean is. Okinawa's main industry is tourism, right? Do you think tourists are going to come here if the ocean dies? If there's no coral reefs to snorkel and dive at? If there's no turtles swimming out there to take nice Instagram photos? We have the whale watching season, but even now there's no real governing body protecting the whales from harassment of these boats that go and try to get up as close as they can so that the guests can have a beautiful Instagram photo. There's no real protection. If we don't take action and raise awareness, let everyone know that they're vulnerable, you know, this is not going to last forever if we don't make right decisions. When the tourism industry dies, you're going to go somewhere else, and the whole island economy is going to be affected very badly. As I said, the tourism industry is the backbone for all of Okinawa's economic health, and if that doesn't trickle down into the other industries, then we're all going to suffer.
So you've been in Okinawa for 15 years.
That's right, yep. It's a beautiful place.
Compared to your hometown, Australia.
My hometown is also beautiful, and I do love it over there, but I feel I can have more impact over here. A lot of people rely on me to lead this movement, I suppose you could call it. I'm in a very privileged position to be able to do what I do, and especially being bilingual, we can reach more of the local demographics, especially the SOFA military people, because they all have come from their hometowns all over America, and they travel all over the world, living in different regions. But they, like Australia, have pretty high awareness of environmental issues, and they want to get involved. They want to do something, give back to the Okinawan community, say thank you for hosting us for the most part. And so we provide them access to these volunteer opportunities and giving back to the community so that their kids, when they grow up and become responsible, hopefully responsible adults, they will be able to have another impact on the places that they end up living in.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by the fact that there's so many volunteers from American bases and stuff.
Yeah, no, they're wonderful, and to be honest, we couldn't do what we do without the support of the military community, because, like I said, they're just so active. They do have a more disposable income as well, and so a lot of the times the wives or the spouses come to Okinawa with their husbands who are active duty, and they come with a lot of varied and skillful experiences and degrees, and so you'll see in our team of volunteers, most of them are military spouses, and they were park rangers, they were marine biologists, they were veterinarians, they bring such a diverse set of skills and help to contribute to our cause, because a lot of the times the spouses don't have to work as well. Plus, they want to get involved, they want to contribute. And it's not just the volunteers that we get from them, it's the military that buy our t-shirts and help support us financially. We're planning a sea turtle festival, the first of its kind in Japan. And the response from our social media from the military is like, wow, you know, we're potentially looking at having 500 people there already. And it's like, I can't show my appreciation enough for the support that they're giving. But then again, the military are great. They're always looking for things to do. When we have a beach clean, and potentially last week we cleaned up a big ghost net in Onna village, and we had 70 people there, and admittedly most of them were military and their families, and because they just want to do the right thing and show that the Okinawan community that they care and they're appreciative of being allowed to live here. So the military in that sense is not such a peaceful and happy thing to be involved with. The individuals are very special people for the most part. And another research project that we are spearheading is Japan's first ever nationwide sea turtle facial recognition database. Did you know that green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles have very unique facial patterns, right? And so you can identify them like a fingerprint. And because of the huge diving community here with the military, they submit photos of the sea turtles that they meet out in the ocean, and we run them through a special software and create a unique identification for them. So this is helping us to try to understand more about the turtles that are in residency here, the turtles that live here, the turtles that migrate between here and the mainland, for example, or here in Taiwan. We have a lot of movement back and forth, and so this research project that the military individuals are helping us to consolidate is the first of its kind in Japan, but it's going to be so important to understanding about sea turtles in general in the northern Pacific regions before they start their migration across to the American West Coast.
So what's your plan for the next few years as a member of an MPO?
The next few years, stay the course. I think we're doing a good job. The support that we have, the volunteers that are reaching out to us every day, how to get more involved, that just proves that we are not doing something wrong. I think saving more turtles is obviously one of our main focuses, but education, creating more events that bring in the community and help them to get involved. The military are fantastic, like I said, but they're always going to be coming and going. There's always going to be new people coming, but we need to give more focus on reaching out to the Okinawan community, because they don't have as much money, they don't have as much time to get involved, and honestly it's something in the back of their mind that they just can't afford to pay attention to. But when we start providing scholarships to the Okinawan kids to join some of our programs, during the summer we took, I think, close to 30 kids away for several weeks at a time and showed them all the stuff that we do. We took them on the patrols, we saved the turtles, we protected the nests, we picked up the trash, and we need to figure out a way to maybe create a fund so that we can take these kids for close to nothing, hopefully for free, so that once they get into high school and graduate and join the team at the village office, they will have enough confidence to say, we shouldn't be doing this, we should think about trying something different. So the local community, I think, is going to be a big focus in the next few years.
So what do you want to achieve through your project?
We have a lot of dreams, obviously. There's so much we could be doing with more money, with more better resources. It was always our dream at the beginning of starting this Churamura to create Japan's first ever sea turtle sanctuary. Right out here in front of the Zampa Lighthouse is a beautiful lagoon. So it has a natural boundary, the reef out there and the coastline, of course. That would be the perfect place to turn into a sea turtle sanctuary, where there's a no-catch zone. You're not allowed to do any fishing. Unfortunately for the locals that like to fish, just move down the coast a few hundred meters and you can fish there, but the fish will be protected. No commercial fishing, no commercial seaweed farming, which create these ghost nets that kill the turtles. Turn that into a sanctuary. There's no motorboats inside there. Right now the jet skis are out there and they're harassing, hitting the turtles, and dropping their oil. It's not a good look. The hotels in that area are being very cooperative with us by turning off their lights during sea turtle nesting season, so that the baby turtles that are hatching don't get lost and end up in a stormwater drain, for example. They can get out into the ocean safely and quickly. The mother turtles that come up to the beach, they don't like the bright lights, and they don't like the fireworks that go off every night during the summer. So these hotels have been fantastic in helping us protect the nesting areas. So Sea Turtle Sanctuary is a long-term goal. Getting the government to approve something like this is going to take a long time, a lot of paperwork, and a lot of money in the resources that need to be allocated to that. And then we want to obviously have the authority to patrol and protect with not necessarily force, but if someone litters, there's a fine for that. No littering, no barbecues, no tents, no loud music. It sounds very pervasive, but that's what a sanctuary needs. More of a short-term goal, we want to establish Japan's first ever sea turtle rescue center and hospital with expensive equipment like MRIs and X-rays, so we can do the surgeries when the sea turtles swallow a fishing hook, when they swallow too much plastic, we can help them. When their fins get chopped off from a boat propeller, or they get caught in a fishing line and get amputated, we want to be able to fix them, rehabilitate them, and release them. One of the things exacerbating the sea turtles' endangerment status is the lack of males being born. Right? So the sex of the sea turtle is determined by the temperature during incubation. So basically in the sand, 2 feet deep in the sand. If the temperature is too hot, they all become females. This is very common in reptiles, some birds, some fish. And with global warming, right now they say 99% of all babies are being born female. And so only 1% are being born male. The chance of them finding a mate to reproduce in the ocean is 1 in 100, right? It's very slim. But when you think about that, the experts say that only 1 in 10,000 baby turtles survive. 1 in 10,000 survive to adulthood, and the chances of them finding a male, and then their beaches are being destroyed, they're getting caught up in nets and stuff. So to have a hatchery where we can incubate the eggs at lower temperatures, controlled environment, we can produce more males and release them. They're still going to get eaten by fish, they're still going to get caught up in nets, but we can give the species a chance of survival. And then there's a conservation method called head starting, where you raise the turtles for 1 year. So they're big enough, like this, to survive the first few months out in the water. Sure, they will get eaten by sharks and big fish, but they, at 2 inches as a baby, their chances are very, very slim. But when they're big enough for 1 year, and we can tag them at that size, and then we can kind of have a record of where they've been moving. Along with our facial identification project, we can really break some barriers as to the mysteries of how they live and what we need to do to protect them. So this Sea Turtle Rescue Center and the hospital, the hatchery, the nursery, the sanctuary, we can really, Yomitan and Chubu and Onmason are in a very unique position where they could be affecting so many wonderful things out there in nature. But unfortunately their short-mindedness in just going for the tourism dollars, build a hotel, rent some jet skis, do all this diving, get 100 divers every day to go down at Maida, Blue Cave or whatever. None of these things are sustainable. So if we can just educate the government as to more sustainable practices, then ecotourism could be their biggest draw card. Sustaining the nature. Don't cut down the trees next to the beach, Stop all the stormwater drain runoff into the rivers. Overfishing, over-tourism, all these things can be changed very easily. And so our fight will always continue as long as we see these people violating our planet.
We can spot sea turtles anywhere in Japan.